Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Tom Mizzle. You're watching my channel, Mr. 14, and I'm here doing a real life talk, number 10, and I'm going to talk about a news I had heard on Monday regarding the Bronx kidnapping that I didn't find out the details. I heard about it and I said, oh my God, this is crazy. I want to talk about it because I was like, this is a crazy abduction. And then today when I went to work, some people told me more details about it, and I was like, what? Now I have read what happened when I came home. That's just before I did the video, and I saw the details. And I said, I can't believe this has happened. Like really. And so I said, you know what? It's in my spirit. I want to talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it briefly. I'm not gonna go too long up in the video. I want to talk briefly. So it was on Monday, December 16th. If anybody who haven't heard everything, it was a teenager that had been abducted in front of her mother in Bronx late night, around 11:30 p.m. Now it happened in the Bronx around Eagle Avenue, right there. Now, it was a black and white video that has shown on footage and news, and it shows that a four-door car pull up. Two of the men got out and grabbed the teenager in front of the mother and went in the car, and the mother was trying to get the guy, trying to fight him, and push him in the ground, and they drove off. Now, my part is, when I heard about this, I first, in reaction, I said, what kind of bold ass people that would abduct, abduct, abduct or kidnap a teenager in front of someone, a witness? Usually when you kidnap someone, you don't do it in front of people. You do it where people is, that person is isolated for other people, so you won't get noticed. So people will not identify on what happened, what location, what the person looked like, what car you was driving, all that stuff. You put it in front of the mother. Maybe she might not know all the details of what happened because she was so frantic trying to save her daughter. But the fact that you did it right there in front of her, and that she could see what's going on. She might see the license plate. You don't know, because some people sometimes in trauma, they memorize details. So you don't know, she might not remember things, or she remember notice things. But at that video, you could clearly say the mother was trying to fight to get the daughter in the car, and then drove off. And I heard the news, and so like it was so shaky. And some people was asking, how do you feel that is you with your child, and somebody abducted in front of your child? I was like, wow. I was like, what kind of kidnappers or abductors will do that in front of people? It's like someone like that. Even though you try to abduct someone and so like that. I'm not saying it could happen, but I'm saying I usually don't hear abductions happen in front of someone. It usually is isolation. There's probably somebody walking by themselves. You see them walking by themselves, nobody around. Then you grab the person. Then it'll be a mystery. Now, what happened? Where came from? So like that. But in front of someone, you own the person, parent. That is crazy. So I said, this is ridiculous. And I said, I gotta follow up on it. So I went to work today, and I talked to one of my coworkers. And he said, you know what? They said it was a stage. I said, stage? No, don't say that. Don't say that. I said, no, it didn't. Cause I said, first of all, out of all the people who have been really abducted, just like a slap in the face of people who have been suffering or have been going through this traumatic experience. And that you had someone, everybody so frantic, because on Tuesday, we did get the Amber Alert in the morning time. Got the phone, it was an Amber Alert, it was the one in the Bronx, so like that. So I said, oh, what happened? Amber Alert, I met the child got abducted. And then I hear nothing about it until then. I was like, you told me. I said, no, that could not be. That could not be, because they said he heard it in the news again. And I said, wow. So I read online. I got online and read it. So basically, the girl name is Carol Sanchez, 16 years old. Her mother, 36 years old. I think he was walking on Bronx at 11:30 p.m. got abducted. Now, and then people were investigating and all that stuff like that. That happened Monday night. Tuesday, they sent an Amber Alert. They're investigating and everything. They're trying to frantic. They sent that out. They was on the phones trying to find information, what's going on. Because you know, with a child abduction, sometimes it's immediate danger. You have a couple hours, like at least within the first 2 days, because I watch a lot of TV. Usually, the first 48 hours is very crucial in child abduction or kidnapping, and police had to put off manpower into trying to see if they could find any clues to where the location at. Now, I think it's happened on Tuesday, where around 2 something, like later on, it was a couple of hours that happened, and it's still frantic. They found the girl walking down the street. Let me see, what time was that? Let me see. No, after the abduction, the mother called the police. 12 minutes after it happened. So it was like that. That fancy woman. Now on Tuesday, let me see, Tuesday. Yeah, about Tuesday, about 2:30, something like that. They saw the girl walking. Cause Tuesday, I remember Tuesday clearly. It was raining that day. It was heavily raining on Tuesday, and I live in Manhattan, so Bronx is not that far from me, and it was raining. So I know Tuesday it was raining mostly all day. So they said Tuesday they saw the girl shaking, walking down the street in her hands and her. So the cops found her, saw her walking down for 2 hours on that stop like that. So they grabbed her and they took her to the station, right? And basically, when they was talking to the teenager, they found some things because they said one, they found very suspicious that she was walking outside for 2 hours in that rain around that time because it was raining all day, and her hair and her coat was not wet. I said that's strange. I was like, you walking in the rain is just strange, really. So, and then as per investigation, they started realizing that she admitted that it was staged. I was like, what in the right mind will convince her to stage something like that, something so serious, to waste all this police time when they could deal with something else for a stage? So apparently, it was talked about that the family told police that the mother was thinking about going back to Honduras, and the teenager didn't want to go. So she planned a stage kidnapping for that to stop happening. So cause the guy, one of the guys, they call him Ramon Martinez. He was in jail at the time, but he got released a week before, so it was December 9th. So around that time he got released. And during the time, they had a phone conversation. It was a recorded phone conversations with her and Ramon about planning this stage event. And they was planning, and they got the records, and they let the mother hear, and she could identify that the girl on the recording was her daughter, and it was details planning of the kidnapping up to the point of that day of the kidnapping. They was planning stage. I would say, first of all, you just got out of jail. What convinced you to even try to do any more crimes when you get out of jail? So first of all, sometimes people who get in jail for a long time for something else they had done, because he was in jail for something he done like I think months before, a month ago or something like that, and he was out on bail, and he planned something with this girl to get the stage kidnapping because she didn't want to go back to Honduras. So he agreed with it, and it was 3 other people there. Now it was told, and that she said that when she went back to the place, they took her to a vacant apartment not too far from the location of the abduction, and they was eating rice and beans and chicken, waiting on this long time. Rice and beans and chicken. She did not sleep. She didn't do any drugs. She did not drink while she was there. But she was eating rice and beans and chicken with the abductors. I said, really, 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 really. And that's what she told the police. It's like, yeah, it was all staged because I didn't all that stuff. So I was really taken aback about that, because I would say, wow, I was like, people who really have been abducted is, and then now you gonna have police thinking that people who have, see, this is exactly just like the sexual assault. Usually when you train, you usually train to believe the person right off the back, not to think they lying. And now when you have people, not a lot, but they have people who use that and lie about being sexually assaulted, make it harder for the police to do their job for the people who have been, because now they are thinking that if this person is yanking my chain, they're lying to me, they doing something like this, they're not behaving in the correct way, it's very suspicious, it's like that. So now it make it harder for people who have been going through this. So when you see an abduction story, you think it's so crazy and horrible that it's happened in front of the mother and get kidnapped right in front of the parent. And the fact that to find out that it was staged, now you feel like it's like, wow. So as of right now, Wednesday, we don't know any more details. Maybe they will get more details. They're not planning to charge Sanchez, because they was like, get her help, get her medical attention, stuff like that, and they decided no, and let's go home. Um, but they don't want to see the role of Ramon into this. And they went to the details. That's what they phone records like that, and see they could probably charge him as like that because he's adult, 23 years old, who was involved in this planning. Even though the woman, the girl, planned the stage, so there had to be some consequences of her actions. I mean, if they're not planning to charge her because it's a teenager and it's probably extreme to charge a teen or something like that, but there had to be some consequences because there was no way for that to go down like that, and for us to find out that got all New York City, all across America, whoever who watched the news was so heartbroken about this happening, for to find out it was a hoax and stage. That's terrible. That's terrible. So we don't know any details, but as of right now, they're not planning to charge Sanchez, the girl, but they want to see more involvement of the boy and see what they're gonna do from that, because that's a waste of manpower and things to possibly something that they had to happen. That it had to happen, and they said they did the plan up to the thing. They waited until the exact moment, exact location where she said she could walk with her mother at the place, and they took her right there. And I would say, wow, wow. I mean, if y'all have heard this, and also the article I read the thing on, I will put a link to below, and it doesn't have the video to it, but if y'all had watched that news that Monday, it shows that thing, and you can look it up. Bronx teenager kidnapping Bronx. It's recently happened. Her name Kevin Sanchez. They could probably some articles might show the video. So, but that was real life talk, y'all. That was my take on it. I don't believe it's crazy because I was so shocked when I heard from a coworker that they said, yeah, they said she staged it. I said, really? Because she didn't want to go back to her home and to Honduras. Why she just didn't talk to her mother saying, I want to go back? Maybe I could stay with somebody here. But you had to go through this whole elaborate plan to stage something. It had to be some consequence. It had to be. I'll go follow up more on this, and I'll put in the comment section of any more details of this. But I was really devastated about this. But tell me how y'all feel. If y'all seen this case, or y'all heard about it and everything, or y'all found the details of what I just said in this video, tell me your thoughts, and I'll talk to y'all later. Alright? Peace.